Yo, it's Movie Buff. Gonna talk to you today about Us. This is Jordan Peele's new movie. You know, Jordan Peele's quickly becoming a big name in this horror genre. This is more like a thriller, like a horror thriller. I wouldn't say it's horror-centric, but it does have both elements to it. So, like I said, he's kind of becoming the new M. Night Shyamalan when before he fucked up. So every movie that he has come out, like people are like, oh man, Jordan Peele, you got to go see this one, you know, and that's kind of how this one was. There was a lot of hype, went to see it with a big group and stuff, and we were all pretty excited. That being said, we got in there and we were all kind of confused. It's a good movie. It's just very deep. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of moving parts. And, you know, Lupita Nyong'o, you know, she is amazing. Her acting is amazing. I'm calling it right now. I think she'll probably get an Oscar for this. And it's funny because the husband in the movie, her husband in the movie is Winston Duke, and they're both from Black Panther. So that's kind of like a nerd, 7 Degrees from Kevin Bacon kind of deal, which I thought it was kind of cool and clever. But basically, this movie is about this government like plan to make these copies from people in the real world, make copies, and whatever the copy does, the real person upstairs will do in real life. So they could manipulate, voting, they could manipulate assassinations, they could pretty much do whatever they wanted to do with whoever they wanted to do. But the project was abandoned for some reason. These copies were left down in underground tunnels all over the nation, basically just left to die. Instead, they didn't die. They thrived, and they, hungered for revenge. And that hunger was sparked by one individual character, and that is Red. And that's Lupita Nyong'o's doppelganger. And she kind of leads them and gives them this purpose of this revenge. We're going to go to the surface. We're going to make a stand. We're going to show them, who we are and what we are. We're going to basically let them know that we're not just nothing. And, that's kind of the gist of the movie. There definitely is a lot of twist that you don't see coming. And the twist is what makes the movie to me. Especially in, Jordan Peele's, Get Out had that crazy twist. This has the same one, except it's multiple twists that you don't see coming. And they're very good. It was very well done. And there's a lot of nuance in this movie that you're not really prepared for. Like me and my girl, we watched this YouTube video on the way home, basically describing the end and the hidden meanings in Us. And if you watch that, which, I'll try to put a link to that YouTube video, it makes a lot more sense, because when she's describing all basically each doppelgangers of the family, they have different names. Well, some of their names are like, the god of darkness and stuff, which if you think, they're underground, they've lived in darkness, there's a lot of stuff that makes a lot of sense, but in the movie, they just touch on it. They don't basically explain everything. So everybody in the world, I won't say in the world, but most people in the United States have a doppelganger. So all these doppelgangers come out, and their job is to murder the real you and replace you in the world. So there's a lot of gore. There's a lot of blood splatter. It's not like overly gory, like a Rob Zombie, like gross, but it's definitely there. And there's definitely hints of things to come. So once you do get the spoiler or the twist, you're like, oh shit, I should have saw that coming. And that kind of like makes the movie for me. A lot of my friends didn't like it. A lot of my friends were like, what the fuck were we just watching, And I kind of had that feel, but it wasn't as much as like a displeasing factor. It was just like, oh, I kind of want to see that again. Maybe it'll make more sense, So I kind of took it out of that with me. I would say it's probably I mean, I'd give it like a 7 or 8, maybe like an 8 out of 10. I mean, it was pretty good. I like I said, I'd like to see it again to get a really good impression of what it, maybe I could get more out of it the second time, kind of going in, understanding certain things. But it's definitely a movie you want to see because it's going to be a water cooler mover. People are going to talk about this. It blew everything away in the horror thriller genre that's ever been out. So, there's going to be more. I don't know if there's going to be an Us 2, but the Jordan Peele train is just going to keep on trucking. So, definitely check it out. I think you'll probably like it, or it'll at least be a movie that you're talking about after you see the movie. There's not going to be like, oh, I hated it, or oh, I loved it. It's going to be a movie that you were just like, oh man, what did you think about it? And that's kind of cool when movies can bring people together like that. So yeah, check it out. Until next time, see you at the movies.